Welcome back. Today, as part of my chess development, I'm going to do some Puzzle Rush here on chess.com, and I'm going to choose the 5-minute version. The idea here for me is to learn pattern recognition, to recognize the checkmate patterns, the free pieces, that kind of thing, rather than to beat my high score, although I am mildly interested in competing against my high score previously. Let's just click play. There should be a countdown. Oh, I'm playing with the white pieces. I guess, was that checkmate? Okay, and black pieces. I don't know what to do. I guess I could, I don't know what to do. I guess threaten the rook here? Nope, that was a 200 rated puzzle that I just flat missed. This one's checkmate. And this one looks like not checkmate, but at least check. Oh, they had the block. What? Why couldn't they just move out in front of that pawn? I guess I would promote if they did. Okay. They just took that, and I'm playing with the black pieces. Then I guess this is mate. That's weird how some of these are really hard and some of them are really easy. Oh. Okay, I'm not going to do well today, I can tell that. That's checkmate. Yeah, the checkmating patterns seem really easy to me, but this looks like checkmate. Let's see. Oh, I have a check, and then I'll take that rook, and that'll be mate. Okay, I just had to do the discovery with check. Let's see. I guess I could go there. No, their bishop would take that. Okay, yeah. Once again, I have no idea what the actual move is here, but let me try that. Oh, that was right. Okay. I guess I don't know how that was winning, but anyway, white to move. Looks like this is mate. Okay. Yeah. Well, we started off weak today, didn't we? This is check, and then let's see. If I check here, they just get away, but then I can come here, I guess, like that. Oh, and they're still going. Okay, then check. Oh, still going. Okay. They're threatening my queen. Should I just take it? It looks like a free piece, but then they'll get my bishop. But then I could get their bishop. Is that it? Nope. Wow, I missed 3 already, and I didn't even get to 1,000. Over the time that I've had this channel, I've learned to laugh at myself and not take myself incredibly seriously most of the time. Because this happens. I'll sit down to record and I'll make some embarrassing mistakes right in front of everybody. And of course, I always have the choice to just delete the video and not let you see these moments, or to leave it there so you can see that, especially if you're lower rated than me, then, sometimes we make these mistakes. Let's see what the first one is. Part of the problem here in this one, obviously, is time. Let's see, play this. The opponent put their rook there. The reason that I thought about this is because it attacks the rook and attacks the queen, but I think the problem with that is that then they could just take the rook. Take my bishop. So it wasn't that. Oh, there's a free rook down there. Should I have just taken their free rook? Oh. Well, that's what I would have seen had I had a little time to look around. The theme was bishop pair. I'm going to say that's not the theme. My opponent does have the bishop pair, but that's not the theme. Hanging piece, that was it. Knight outpost? Not really. It was just blocking my queen from seeing this. Pin? I guess my bishop was pinned. I don't know. What was the second one? Okay, the next one was rated 455. And in this one, my opponent pushed a pawn. Now, I went here because I thought that might be checkmate. But it's not, because the opponent can get away this way. I think what I should have done is just checked, and that would have been checkmate already. Yeah, okay, see, that checkmate I did not see. The theme, because that's checkmate, right? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm going to suggest the theme of mate in 1. And the last one that I missed was this one, in which my opponent took, I think, my knight. And I thought if I took this bishop, oh, their rook's guarding that. That's a bad idea. Okay, I didn't see the rook. I thought if I took here and they might take here and then I would get their bishop, but that's not the case. Oh, I should have just checkmated them here. I thought it was about taking pieces because those are the puzzles that are harder for me, but I didn't see that I just have checkmate. Yeah, mate in 1 because this pawn is pinned, can't take, and the king can't move because of here. Well, I got those. I understood them. I obviously didn't get them during the puzzle run, and I did really poorly compared to my record. But let's play it again and see if I can beat 11. Which is my daily record for today and this week. Oh, wow, it says it's my 10th of all time. I'm guessing I haven't played this much more than 10 times in all time. All right, play again. Again, there's a countdown. I'm playing with the black pieces. Oh, I can just take the rook. And they have to block, and that's mate. Okay. See, that was easy. To me. Should I put my queen in front of my rook in front of their queen? And then instantly my rook and queen will both be pointed there? Oh, they checked me on the... I can just take that, I think. Okay. And this looks like a back rank mate, which I can just take the rook after they block. Also, this one is a back rank checkmate. This one is not back rank checkmate, but it looks like I have a check over here that's pretty safe. Wait, they could move one. Sorry, they could have just moved over. All right, this one is also checkmate on the back rank. This one is checkmate right here because of my bishop. And this one's checkmate. Oh, I'm getting much easier ones this time. I think this is checkmate here on h5 because they've just sealed their king in and nothing can block there. Because of where my dark squared bishop is, I think this is check. Oh, well, the king could have moved over and then I would have had mate on the back rank. Here I have check this way. And I don't think they have anything that can stop that protected by my rook. They would have to move over one. Then I don't know what I would do after that. They're also about to promote here. I think I better check. They moved over like I thought they would, but now they can't get out. So I'm going to check here, let the rook take it, and then this will be mate. And here I have checkmate in the corner because their king is trapped. All right. And oh, they've discovered attack with their bishop, but I think I can just take it. Yeah, okay. That wasn't mate though. This is. Not sure about this one, but I think this is a check, and then the king has to move over one. Oh, I'm pretty sure the king had to move over one, but that's all right. Now, I think I can check here, and then check here, and then that's mate. Ooh, should I check? That's not quite mate. They'll have to take, and then I'll take, and then that's mate. All right, I'm playing with the black pieces. Well, I can check here, but then they'll take it, or I can check here, and then they have to move over. And then I'll check with my rook, and then they'll have to take the knight, and then I'll check and mate in the corner, like so, I think. Okay. Well, that was right. I mean, at least I was given credit for it. Oh, I can fork their pieces right here. Oh, but then they could take my bishop. But I would take their queen, so they wouldn't. What would they do? That might not be the best move. I don't know. Oh, then I would take, after they move their queen, I'll take their bishop. Oh, but my knight's hanging. Oh, I'll take it this way, and then this way. Okay. I picked up a piece there. Oh, I'm in check. Oh, I don't like the ones where I'm in check. I should not block with my queen because then they'll put pressure on the pinned piece and they'll win the queen for a pawn. So I have to get out of check. This way? Okay, yeah, I don't like the ones where I have to get out of check. I almost always lose those. I think I can just take the queen, can't I? Oh, no, their knight is pinned. I can just take here. I almost didn't take there first because I thought the knight would take, but my rook was pinning their knight. Okay. This is check. The king would have to move back, and then I guess I would come down. Looks like. I don't see anything else. Oh, it just stopped. All right. I was curious as to what would happen next. Well, this looks like a check. Was that it? Oh, I have to move closer, or should I check with the bishop? Is that mate if I check with the bishop? Oh, they have to block with the pawn, and then that's mate? Okay. Where's my queen and my... Oh, I can check with the rook, but their bishop's guarding that square. What about here? Oh, they went back. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Then, oh, check here. Oh, okay. Sorry, that wasn't mate, but I also don't know what to do here except just take it. It looks like it. I think I'll just take it. Nope, that was wrong. Okay. And I'm playing with the black pieces. Okay. I guess take one of their rooks and then the other one and then the bishop. Okay. I don't have any checks here. Should I threaten their queen? Like so? Oh, I did. And then take their bishop? No. Good grief, I don't know. What about this? Oh, and then take their bishop. Okay. Oh, I just set a personal best. I saw it right before time ran out. Okay, well, it's a good thing I played it again. I think I needed the first one to kind of warm my mind up a little bit. But that's my personal best of all time in the 5-minute version. Let's see the one that I missed. In this one, yeah, the ones that start out with me in check, where I have multiple options to get out of check, those I don't understand. But I think, just now thinking about this one, I think I did have to block with the queen. And the reason that I didn't is because I thought they could do this, but that doesn't make sense because I would just take their queen, I'm pretty sure. So I think I have to block with the queen, rather than going here or here or here, which are my other 3 choices. I think they'll take the queen, and then I'll take them, and then I can get in front of their pawn and advance mine. Yeah, I'll just take theirs, right? Well, I kind of have to, don't I? And then advance my pawn? I want to see the analysis on that because it looks like they can get out of the way and advance their pawn too, but I guess mine's closer. Is that it? Yeah, the analysis board moved a little bit, but it does look like it fits on screen. Okay. We went here and I figured it out. Okay, and then I did that. Now their best move, it's -35. Their best move is to advance their pawn, and then I would advance. Oh, I have 2 choices. That's why the puzzle didn't continue, is because I can either play king to d7 or advance my pawn. Well, let's say I advanced my pawn. I'm pretty sure they're going to go down. No, their best move is this way. Okay, and then I advance. Oh, wow. Back up. Oh, now when we get to here, it's not minus 35 anymore. It's mate in 29. And their best move isn't f5 anymore. That f5 was their best move earlier, but now their best move is king to f5. Really? To keep their pawn from moving forward, which is their only hope. Okay. Oh, and now it's not mate in 29, now it's mate in 32. And my best move is not to advance my pawn. You saw that, right? King to d5. I'm going to go with a3, and then it jumps to mate in 21. Okay, Stockfish is having a little bit of trouble here. Now their best move is to get out of the way of their pawn. Well, maybe that's what they should have done in the first place. So let's back up. Instead of blocking their pawn, maybe... Oh, now it's f5. All right, Stockfish, come on. Don't tell me it's mate in blank if there's actually a better move. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they should have gone king to g6 in the first place instead of up and then down. But we're back to f5 being their best move. Mate in 28 if I play a3. Now it's mate in 18. So 10 moves disappeared right there. And now their best move is king to g5. I think if they did that, I could just get in front of their pawn, even if I didn't have mine, right? I think they need to go this way. Does it make a difference? It does. Takes 8 moves off. Let's see if this is mate in 10. Oh, it's mate in 11. All right. A2. It's mate in 9 or 8. Let's say this, because that's what my opponent would probably do. And then I promote. And it's not their best move to move their pawn again. Oh, they can't move it because it's pinned. Nice. All right. Well, let's say they went here. My best move is queen to e5. I probably wouldn't find that in a game. Let's say I went here. Oh, it's mate in 8. My best move is king to e6. All right. Well, let's try that. And then they're going to advance their pawn. Then I'm going to check them over here on g1. It says their best move is this way, but then obviously I would take the pawn. So what if they got in front of it? I honestly think my best move would be right here, but it says queen to g5 is my best move. But yeah, I would be really tempted to go all the way down to g6, which keeps them from coming out on this side. So they'd have to go here. Then I would take the pawn. They'd have to move over, and that would be mate, right? But it says it's mate in 2 if I go here. Oh, because they have to go there, and then this is mate. Wow. All right. Okay, well, I'm happy with that, and I have enough time to look at my Lichess game from last night. So let me switch over to that. All right, spoiler alert, I did win my Lichess Rapid game from last night, but in a pattern that's very familiar to me. I stayed about even in the opening, lost big time in the middle game, and then sometime late in the middle game and through the end game, I got the advantage back. It looks like there was, a big jump right here halfway through the middle game, as this game review defines it. But I even started gaining a little bit of a lead there in the early middle game, which is unusual for me. But right here is where I lost a big advantage, so maybe I can learn something from that position. Okay, my opponent has just moved their queen over here, and I did successfully avoid looking at the right column, so I don't know what I did play or what I should have played. I do remember that I had just jumped this knight in here because in a previous analysis, I kept missing knight to b4. And when the queen was, I think, here or here, I can't remember exactly. In that game, there wasn't a knight there, and so after the queen moved, I was supposed to take this pawn with check, and then I guess come back. But in this one, I'm not sure, and like I said, I'm not sure what I did. I might have just brought the knight back, aiming for that pawn, but that pawn's defended. I'm pretty sure I considered taking here, but that pawn, that knight is well defended, so I would just lose a bishop for it. I don't know if I considered hopping this knight in here to have extra attackers on that pawn, or maybe I should have castled here. I am pretty sure I didn't castle here, but maybe that's what I should have done. Oh, yeah, no, I had to have done something about this. Okay, I think I remember. Yeah, I remember seeing that they were threatening mate because, the knight's guarding both of those squares. So I think I just played f6. Where are we in the move list? Yes, I played f6 and that was a blunder. Okay, I should have castled. f6 was my 4th best move. Castling was the only move that left me with an advantage. I didn't want to castle. I know that's so many times recently when I have castled, my opponent has immediately zeroed in on those pawns right in front of my king, brought in knights and bishops and pawns, and then I'm stuck. It's happened a lot, so I've been very slow to castle recently. As you can see here, we're on move 14. I've had the ability to castle for some time, I just haven't. But here it says it's the only move that maintains my advantage. Okay. And it says after I castled, they would play king to b1, even though that pawn is already defended. I guess that means they want to move this knight. All right, I do know that one problem with this is it weakens this e-pawn, which is currently not defended. And I think that came into play later, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, they needed to move the knight, right? And it says yes. It says they should put this knight back on d3. That's their best move. Their next best move is to check me, but I had already determined that if they checked me, I would play this other pawn up here. No, I think I hadn't determined that because they could just take it, right? No, I could take back. I can't remember, but I do remember thinking they could check me here, but if they did, I could either block with the knight or the pawn, and their knight would still be hanging. But I think I chose the pawn. But anyway, they did bring their knight back, and then I followed this with a mistake. I just saw what it was. It was bringing... Should I have taken? No. This is defended, so I can leave it there. And I did look at the lines without realizing it says I should have played queen to c8 because of that pawn. Okay, I needed to defend that pawn. Or take this one with check is my next best move. And they would have taken here, and then it says I would have played b4 to threaten this knight, and then that knight would have hopped out here. And then I assume at some point that I would protect my e-pawn. Okay, but my best move is to protect the e-pawn now. I see that. What did I play instead? Oh, I said I brought this knight back, but that left this pawn undefended. It was their best move to take it. They're up +3. I think I understand those two blunders. A blunder and a mistake. In the one case, I left this pawn undefended, and that was a result of the first blunder, is that it let them pull their knight back and then be attacking this pawn. But if I had played the best move in the second instance, I'm not sure what they would have done there. Maybe they would have doubled up on it, or brought this knight over here to aim that way. Maybe that's what it was. But here it was my best move to take this. I didn't realize, obviously, that I was down nearly +4 here. I thought, oh, I have a fork. And that was my best move, to fork their queen and rook. And it was their best move to sack the rook. They did. I thought that was a mistake on their part, because I could just take it. Now, I didn't take with my queen, because I thought they would put their rook here, and that rook would be protected by the knight, and then my queen would be pinned. It does look like they're exactly even. And it's actually, they wouldn't try to pin my queen with a rook. Really. Well, that's why I didn't take with the queen. That's why I took here. Also, they're aiming at my d-pawn now, which is undefended. And I thought if I took with my bishop, then my d-pawn would be defended. So I took with my bishop, and it's +3. But they blundered big time here. They should have played queen to g4, and that's an only move. Really. And my best move then would be to take this pawn with check, and they would take back. Oh, okay. I think I get it. Because they're forking this pawn and this knight. And so if I castled to protect the pawn and keep the queen from infiltrating down here, they would get the knight for free. Well, I'm glad I saw that, and I'm even more glad that my opponent did not see that during the game. They played their second best move, which was queen to e3, which attacks the undefended knight and pins the bishop, but isn't a fork, and it gives me time. That's the difference. They had to take more time here. Now, they were down 2.5 minutes at this point. And again, I don't think they, just like me, realized that they were up nearly +4 here because they're down 2 points of material because of the fork. But they did, they had to move their queen someplace. They just didn't take enough time to figure out that this was the best move. I don't know that I would have found that either. And in fact, what I thought they were going to do was go here, so I'd have to move my knight, and then move their rook over to line up on this, and then see what happened. Well, they did play there, and I did move my knight, and I put it on c6. I didn't know that was the best move, but it is, and the reason that I chose it is because it continues to guard this while my queen continues to guard that d-pawn. That was my best move. Okay, now they have only a couple of moves. Knight to f4, which I guess aims in here or at this pawn, because that would be a double attack on this pawn. Their knight and their rook would both be pointed at my d-pawn, and then it says I would push forward at that point. Wait, and they would get their queen out of the way? But I couldn't take here because of the rook pointed at my queen. Oh, wow. But that's their best move. They could also play queen to f3 now, which puts another attacker on my d-pawn. Or knight to e2, which I guess keeps the d-pawn from moving forward. Oh, because d4 is coming up in a lot of the lines for me. Okay, Stockfish is expecting me to play d4 soon. But instead they did what I thought they were going to do, which is line up on my king. But that allows me to play d4, which Stockfish knew about on the previous turns. I did not know about it. It's a pawn fork. What would they have played if I had played that? It says they would have threw their queen down here, and then because their rook's not pinning this anymore, oh my. I should have seen this. It would be defended by the knight. Their queen would have to move, and I would get the knight for a pawn. Well, now I chose to castle. I have 2 defenders on this bishop, so I'm not worried about their battery there. I thought, why not get out of the way? But they're back up. That's the highest advantage they had in the entire game, but only if they check me here, because the knight's hanging. All right, I get that. I'm not going to call this an elementary blunder because the way that I defined or classified blunders in an old video of mine, an elementary level blunder has to basically mean that the opponent can strike on the next turn. So an elementary level blunder would be like putting the knight here and they can just take it. An intermediate blunder, by my classification, requires a tactic, requires being able to see beyond the next turn. This is pretty close. Missing this is pretty close to an elementary level blunder because I get my thing on the next turn, right? But this down here isn't. This I'm going to have to classify as an intermediate level blunder because it requires being able to see where they can go on their next turn, checking me, and then the turn after that, winning the knight. So that has to be an intermediate level blunder here. Not that it matters what you classify them as. It's just that the ones that I classify as low intermediate or elementary, these are the ones that I should definitely be seeing. And that's one of the reasons that I classified them. When I get to what's an advanced blunder, which requires seeing something, multiple moves down the road, or not even resulting in a mate or gaining a piece, but sometimes just a positional advantage, but Stockfish can tell that it's better. Those I'm not even worried about because I might not be able to learn them ever, and I certainly won't be able to get them now. But the reason that I decided to classify them is so I would know which ones to work on, and I definitely need to be looking for pawn forks. And I could probably, ask myself, if I castled, what can they do? They can't take this pawn, right? And that's probably something that I considered. They're not going to be able to take here. And that's one thing that I was thinking about. But I first, looked and saw that that's protected. But I think I ought to have been able to see this, that they could have checked me then and won the knight. Well, I missed that. And then my opponent, that's not any of their moves. Again, this was their only move that took advantage of my blunder. Their second best move is to take this pawn. Really? Their third best move is to move the king over. Fourth best is queen to e2. Fifth best is rook to d1. Okay, I do get that they might want to move their queen because I still have the pawn fork, as far as I can tell. Although d4 is not listed in any of these lines. Okay. Well, they took there, which it just hangs a piece. I was supposed to take it back, right? I admit that I hesitated here. I wondered, are they trying to remove the defender from this? Maybe that was their intent, but I thought they're not going to take here with their queen because the knight would take the queen, and then even if their rook took, that they would have just gotten a bishop and a knight for a queen and a knight. So basically just a bishop for a queen. So that's why I went ahead and took, because I couldn't figure out what their plan was. And now they can't check here. I probably still didn't see that, but now they don't have the fork anymore, right? Because my queen's guarding that spot. Okay, they tried to attack my queen, which was a one-move attack. And I determined here that I'm up 4 points of material now. I should probably go ahead and trade queens. So I just moved there, thinking they could take if they wanted to, and actually hoping that they would take here by mistake, not realizing I was defending it again. But what they played was there, which attacks my queen and my rook. But I'm still pointed at their queen. So I took it. And that turned out to be one of my better moves. They took back, and now I can move my rook out of danger. Oh, the engine says way over here would have been best. Well, I didn't want to put it here, even though that would have helped protect the bishop, because then they could have forked me. Well, that's why I went up. That was my second best, okay? And they decided to attack my other rook. That's not one of their better moves. And again, it says I should have put a rook on c8. Well, again, I moved it up here wondering where it was going to go because I thought that they could attack this pawn. So I just protected that pawn and attacked the knight. That's their best move, is to put it back where it was or play d5. They're about the same. They played d5 attacking my bishop. I decided to move my bishop even though it's not one of my best moves. It says rook to f8's my best move, and they definitely would not take... Oh, because my other rook's protecting it now. Oh, wow. Okay, but I still don't know why I would want to play rook to f8. I just attacked their rook with the bishop. Was that a bad move? No, I didn't. Wait, I thought I did that. I think I considered it, but I didn't do it. Why not? I played this, bishop to f8. Now, I'm really not sure why I did that, because I couldn't have been worried about a back rank, could I? Because even from here, if they had gone to the back rank, I could have gone to f8. Maybe I just decided, maybe I saw that and decided to do it preemptively, but it says that's what I played. And their best move is to immediately go over here and pin that pawn. Oh, so they could take that, I guess. It says if they did that, then I would put the bishop back over there and attack the rook. And then they would move the rook up one. And then I would move my king into the... Well, I'm glad they didn't find that, because I probably wouldn't have put my king there. I'm not sure. They came down here to pin the bishop, which didn't seem like a great plan, but I didn't know what to do about it. I mean, the bishop's well protected. I just decided to go here. And one reason I decided that was because A, it protects the rook, B, it keeps the bishop from seeing any of these pawns, and C, it keeps the rook from going back. That's what I thought, but that's not one of my top moves there. In fact, loses some of my advantage. They are supposed to go here to line up on the bishop. I didn't think that was that big of a problem. And it says I should play knight to c6. Wait, wasn't my knight just on c6? It says to put it back. Oh no, rook a to d7. That's what I played. I went after their undefended knight because I wasn't worried about this because, again, that one's doubly defended. So I just went after their undefended knight. They're supposed to go over here, but instead they checked me. Well, I can just take that, can't I? says it doesn't matter which rook I take it with. I just took it with that one. And I guess they thought that I was going down the exchange, but I wasn't going down the exchange. All right. I don't remember what I was talking about because I just got a phone call from one of my lovely children. So, you know, that's always a blessing, but it did distract me here. Okay. Yeah. The thing was, I don't know why they did that because I was going to take here. And I guess they thought I was going down the exchange, but I wasn't because I was going to take that too. So I was going to get 2 pieces for 1. And then if they took here, I was going to get their rook too. So I did take it and they did take and I took. And then I guess at that point they realized they had just lost 2 pieces for my rook. So they ran away aiming for that pawn. I figured I could probably defend that pawn, but I didn't know if it was worth it. But what I did want to do was be able to move this bishop eventually, so I decided to run my king out this way. That's what I did, and it's okay. They are supposed to take the pawn, that's fine. And I just kept going with my king, and that's what I did. Then they went after the next pawn, which I was okay with. I decided to keep their king from coming out. I thought I might be able to, I don't know, work my way down in there somehow, or even better yet, do something like this with my bishop, because now my bishop's not pinned. That was one of the reasons for going this way. It was a blunder for them to take that pawn because it allows mate in 2. So I went down there, which only leaves them 1 legal move, which is here, and then I would go there. But I guess my opponent at this point realized that, and then they resigned. So I felt pretty good about this game, although there were obviously some tense moments, but I wasn't sure during any of those moments that I was behind. I thought we were still even through that stretch. All right, I think I got at least some of the lessons I was supposed to learn from this game because I do understand why my moves weren't good. And if during a game you can determine that one of your moves isn't good, then you should look for a different one. And that's what I should have done here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.